Hello and welcome to another episode on Football Talk Podcast. My name's Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. Now that's what I'm talking about. Liverpool were victorious once again as they thrashed Bournemouth 4-0 at the Vitality Stadium. So let's go ahead and discuss the match in more detail. This is also a calling show, guys. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, the floor is yours. Link is available in the description. It's also pinned in the live chat. So let's look at the lineups before we start discussing the first half. So, in terms of the Bournemouth lineup, Meth and partner Zabani in defense, which is what I expected. But there was a different personnel in the fullback areas as Max Aarons starts at right back and James Hill starts at left back. No Billing in the lineup, which is what it was sort of my wild take in terms of their lineup. But as expected, it was Christie and Cook in that double pivot. And the advanced three and a striker was exactly what I predicted in the previous show. In terms of the Liverpool lineup, backline, exactly what I predicted. Elliott actually plays a more of a midfield role alongside Jones. That leads to Gravenberch being on the bench. The game started with Nunes on the left, Jota through the middle, and Diaz on the right. And Gakpo was also on the bench. So let's talk about the first half. Aggressive start from Bournemouth, I'd say in the opening minutes as they were playing on the front foot. But Liverpool found their feet eventually and started to show a bit of rhythm, but no clear-cut chances produced. McAllister was probably the first one to have a shot around the 19th minute, a long-distance shot from around 30 yards. His effort, unfortunately, goes wide. The windy conditions definitely affected Liverpool's final ball, as there were a lot of balls that were flattened in the air, and they were either going out of play or just missing the target. For me, in those type of conditions, you need to play the ball on the ground rather than pinging high balls, because the wind was not a big factor in our performance today. 24th minute, McAllister, who was for me fantastic in this game, has a great interception, wins the ball back and lays it off to Nunes. He drives with the ball, has a pop from distance, easy save for Neto. And then the 34th minute, Diaz tries his luck in similar distance, and his effort was also comfortably saved by the keeper. Now, probably a minute later, Diaz is fouled by Kluivert as he stamps on his ankle. For me, that looks like a dirty challenge. But VAR ignored it and nothing came from it. Forget a yellow card or red card, not even a free kick was given. But are we surprised? Not really. I've seen challenges like that given as red cards this season. Now, I wouldn't personally say that was a red card challenge, but it was definitely a Boko offense. But hey, nothing came of it from that challenge. Around the 36th minute, Jota attacks that right channel, cuts back a pass into the 6-yard box. Nunes tries to make a run to make contact with the ball, but was unable to do so, so the chance was gone. Around the 38th minute, Bournemouth have their first shot on goal. Lovely turn from Christie, who then hits the left-footed strike straight to Alisson. Around the 40th minute, Kluivert and Christie have a couple of shots towards goal on their counter-attack. Both efforts were blocked by our counting Van Dijk. And in the 43rd minute, Kluivert hits a beautiful left-footed cross into the 6-yard box, but no one was there to get the end of it. And that was probably one of their best moves in the first half. Elliott has a corner around the 45th minute, just before halftime, aims it towards Konate, who looked like his header completely missed the target, but it was in fact Zabani who made that clearance, so he should have been given for a corner, but wasn't given for Liverpool. And that was the first half, to be fair. An evenly contested game at that stage. Both teams were showing some neat football, but no one really troubled the keeper, or either keeper, I should say, to break the deadlock. And hopefully things improve in the second half. And that's exactly how it panned out. So from a tactical point of view, Klopp switched up a little bit in terms of our attacking forward players. Diaz was back on the left-hand side. Nunes was now attacking through the middle, and Jota was on the right. To feel, I feel it was a good change. Jota wasn't really playing out wide on the right-hand side, but he was starting off in that role and then drifting in, playing more of a deeper role. So I think that was a good tactical approach, as we were less predictable in terms of our forward play, and that definitely caused havoc or confusion to the Bournemouth backline. So in terms of the first incident of the second half, it was Joey G around the 46th minute, finds himself in the middle of the park, cuts in, takes a shot. Unfortunately, his effort was blocked. I'm still rooting for my guy there. Hopefully, he will get the goal this season. He's getting closer and closer game by game. But around the 40th minute, Liverpool break that deadlock. Through Darwin Núñez, Konate hits a long ball towards Curtis Jones, who feeds it to Jota. He passes it first time to Núñez, and Núñez applies a composed finish in the bottom corner. Lovely build-up play and great finish from our striker there. Normally, he's a bit erratic in front of goal, but that finish was class in my opinion. 49th minute, Bournemouth respond as Kluivert has a shot from the edge of the box, but as he slips, his effort is blocked by Van Dijk for a corner. But with the corner, there was no other outcome. Jota drives with the ball and gets into the box. Seems to have been fouled just outside the box. Nothing was given. The commentators were suggesting it was a dive because it's Jota, I guess. But looking at the replay, it was definitely contact from the Bournemouth player. Not a penalty, but it should have been a free kick to Liverpool there. 53rd minute, Bradley has a great effort from a corner. His shot was saved by Neto. So close from the youngster who almost opened his goal-scoring account for Liverpool. And then around the 62nd minute, Bournemouth had a corner, but cleared away fantastically by Bradley. And then this is our hour mark, 63rd minute, double change for Liverpool. Diaz and Elliott come off for Gakpo and Gravenberch. And then about 5-6 minutes later, Gakpo makes an instant impact as he becomes the provider. The goal itself, Jota loops the ball towards Núñez, who falls to the ground after a clash with Zabani. Gakpo manages to get the loose ball, feeds it to Jota, who hits it first time to make it 2-0. Great finish from our striker there. Same first minute, Liverpool have a chance as Gakpo lays it off to Bradley, who hits a cross, but disappointingly goes straight to the keeper. So the chance was gone there. 75th minute, Max Aarons goes past Gomez and Gakpo on the right-hand side, tries to square it to Solanke, but Konate, who was phenomenal today, comes sliding in to block the pass. Aarons, for me, should have probably shot first time as he created a half yard for himself, but he ended up playing it safe and tried to find Solanke, but that resulted to a missed opportunity there. 79th minute, Liverpool on the attack again, and this was our goal. Bradley hits a square ball towards Jota, who initially miskicks it, but then follows through with a quick reaction to hit a low shot into the bottom corner. 3-0 to Liverpool. A striker's instinctive finish there. Great to see that from Jota. And at 81st minute, we had to make a couple of substitutions. Unfortunately, it looks like Curtis Jones has an injury. From the way he reacted, it looked like it was a calf injury. So hopefully it's nothing major. Klopp then makes some substitutions. So Owen Beck, our player that was on loan at Dundee, comes on for Conor Bradley, who, by the way, was fantastic in this game. And Bobby Clark replaces the injured Jones. So in terms of our shape there, Beck goes to left back and Gomez switches over to right back. And then around the 89th minute, Bournemouth almost opened their scoreline. Second half sub, Brooks is through on goal, tries to lift the ball over Alisson, but his effort goes wide. Big chance to give Bournemouth the consolation goal there. But 90th minute, Liverpool make it 4-0. And what a cross it was by Joe Gomez on that right-hand side. Pretty much Trent-esque the way he applied that cross there. Núñez, in terms of applies a sliding finish, hits the post and in. What a goal from our striker there. And then 93rd minute, Jota was substituted. I heard chants from the Bournemouth crowd saying he's just a shit Andy Carroll in regards to Núñez. Well, around the 95th minute, their striker, Kiefer Moore, goes through on goal with Alisson out. Tries to score an open goal from distance, but completely misses the target. I guess Bournemouth fans should probably look at their own players before they start talking reckless about other players, because your player is completely shite, in my opinion, let alone a shit version of anyone else. But hey, forget about some of those idiots in the crowd. Overall, a fantastic win for Liverpool. A difficult first half, as it was an evenly contested game, especially under difficult weather conditions. But with a slightly tweak in the attack in the second half, that made all the difference for us. Jota and Núñez scoring a brace each, along with some outstanding performances across the team. Liverpool are still top of the league with 5 points gap. Man City in second still, have a game in hand. Another clean sheet, which is, for me, always a positive. Now, I think we've got the best defensive record in the league, as we've only conceded 18 goals. Now, from an attacking point of view, we've actually got 1 goal less than Man City. So look, with a number of injuries that we have and so many players missing, Liverpool are showing everyone that we are the mentality monsters. We haven't made that catchphrase for no reason. We're, as you can see, we keep going. We never give up. I'm proud of this team. And look, I'm getting a positive feeling about this season. I made that bold prediction early on that I think Liverpool win the title. Some laughed at me, but I'm sticking to my gun. And for the record, I didn't blindly say Liverpool were going to win because I'm a Liverpool fan. I analyzed all the squads and I just thought we had the numbers as well as the strength and depth to compete. And look, that's exactly what we're doing right now. So what a time to be a Liverpool fan. Before we go on to the next part of the show, I'll do the player ratings. And if you're watching live, get involved. Let me know your score of each player during the game as well. And then we'll also get some callers in after my player rating. So just checking the first comment. Daz says, big up. I got it correct, Ozzie. Do you know what? Fair play to you, Daz. You did actually predict a 4-0 in the previous show. So, yeah, you better tell me the lottery numbers for next week as well. You got that one spot on. So, yeah, well done, Daz, on that one. And he says, good news. Trent, Dom, Robbo could all feature on Wednesday. Robbo coming back. That's a huge list. Okay. I didn't know about that one. All right. That's big news. The Dominic one, I think we spoke about in the last show. So that was kind of expected. And Trent as well. Trent, I think, so Trent, because I think he was, listed to possibly return for the Chelsea game. So if he's available for the Fulham one, that's great. So no, onwards and upwards, I guess, in terms of having those players back to the team. And I also read today that Salah is actually flying back to Liverpool in terms of his injury that he suffered at AFCON. So, but there is, I think Klopp did confirm that if he is able to be fit, he will be sent back to Ivory Coast in case Egypt progress into the finals. So he'll still participate if Egypt do well, but at least he's kind of like in our hands where we can kind of monitor his injury and making sure it's not aggravated any further. So no, looks like good news all around right now. And Uncle Ross says, big up Ozzie, big up yourself, Uncle Ross. Thank you for your comment and tuning in as always. So yeah, let's talk about our team now. So I'll share the graphics and let's start with Alisson. So for me, Alisson didn't have to do much today, which is always good. As good sign for a goalkeeper. There were a lot of times where I feel like he had to do well in terms of aerial challenges because they had a lot of corners. In terms of his distribution, he did well as in that field as well. Couple of shots that he had to save. So I feel like he had a pretty much solid game all round. Didn't make any mistakes. Sometimes with distribution, he can be a bit sort of like adding too much pressure to the defense line, but that wasn't the case today. So for me today, I'm going to give him a solid ranking and I'll give him an 8. Let's bring up the rating section. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Now, in terms of our backline, Joe Gomez, yeah, I think he was solid today. Fantastic performance from Joe Gomez. Got the assist at the end, switching over to the right-hand side. But in terms of his performance as a left back, he was fantastic. Very rarely gave the ball away. Very rarely made a mistake. He had a tricky opponent today in Tavernier, who was a very, very skillful player, left-footed, but uses speed very well. Very good in terms of his distribution, but he had a quiet game today, and that was all down to Joe Gomez, in my opinion. So, yeah, another solid performance, another assist to his belt as well. So for me, an 8.5. Daz has just said 8.5 for Alisson. Yeah, not far off in terms of my. I think because for me, if a goalkeeper's made like 1 or 2 spectacular saves, that's how I increase it. But if they've just had a good solid performance, I always just round it up to 8. But we're pretty much on the same wavelength in regards to Alisson there. Van Dijk today just oozes class, doesn't he? There were so many times where players were trying to nudge him off the ball. Solanke, yeah, he definitely knew he had his work cut out today. He was knackered at the end of the game. Just phenomenal. Just the way he plays is effortless sometimes. Very, very good today in terms of his distribution. Defensively, kept the shape very well in the back line and never looked out of place. I don't think he was threatened at all in certain areas of the game, even when he's sort of covering ground for the fullbacks. So in this case, Gomez, and he's having to defend in the channels, never really trouble whatsoever. So very, very solid performance from our captain once again. So I'm going to give him an 8.5. alongside Joe Gomez there as well. In terms of Konate, I thought he was fantastic today. I really did. One of the reasons why I wanted him to start in this game when I did the previous show was because I feel like he's playing some of his best football right now. He was so dominant. I don't think he lost the aerial battle. Correct me if I'm wrong. Every time there was a kick from Neto, Konate was in the air, heading that ball away. Even in terms of his distribution, which has been questioned by a lot of fans in terms of his accuracy of passing, or I think just in the mannerism of how he plays. I thought he was good today as well in that field. He made that late challenge towards the second half where Max Aaron passed it to Solanke. That could have been a goal at that stage, but he just committed into a sliding tackle to make that block. I thought he was phenomenal today, and he really stood out for me as one of our best performing players on the pitch. So I'm going to give him the slight edge of Van Dijk. Not to say Van Dijk wasn't as good as him, but I feel like Konate really stood out for me. So I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. In terms of Conor Bradley, another solid performance from him. Showed more confidence in this game. Maybe it was the atmosphere, maybe it was the sort of stadium, because everyone knows Vitality Stadium is kind of like an old school stadium in terms of the way it is, the way it's built, the way the crowd is quite close, the pitch isn't the biggest. So it probably suited Conor Bradley because he was probably used to playing at those stadiums last season when he was in the Championship. And yeah, for me, he was fantastic. Played with such confidence today, aggressive as well. He showed showed a bit of nastiness in some of his challenge, which I love. I love to see that in the youngster. So yeah, really good on the ball as well. One or two sort of, I think decision making wasn't. If I'm nitpicking right now in terms of like the final ball, but hey, this is his first start in the first team. So no, for me, fantastic performance for him. Really, really solid. Pretty much gave an assist as well, right? Let's not forget that pass to Jota came from Conor Bradley. So for me, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. And then just going to go through some of the comments here. Daza says same for Gomez, so 8.5 for Gomez, which is what I have as well. You've gone for 9.5 for Konate. Not mad at that at all. I thought he was phenomenal today. And he just said all right to Uncle Rod's as well. Yeah, Uncle Rod's big supporter of the channel. Let's go on to the midfield. Now, for me, McAllister, that was his best game for Liverpool so far this season. He was phenomenal. What didn't he do in this game? From the first half, I feel like he was the only guy that stood out in midfield, in my opinion. Jones and Elliott were below par. They didn't really get much of the ball. They didn't really have any influence on the team. But McAllister, in terms of his tenacity, where he was making challenges, he was going past like 2-3 players, wasn't getting nudged out the way from anyone. His distribution, first-time passing was fantastic, and this continued on throughout the game. In the first one, I feel like he really had to stand out because I think in terms of our midfield battles, we weren't really having sort of any input towards our front line, which is probably why they weren't as influential in the first half. But second half, he controlled the game as well, made the challenge at the right time, made the right pass at the right time. Klopp says at the post-interview that's our number 6. It brings everything to the table in terms of his possession play, in terms of his pressing, his passing range. And I know amongst us Liverpool fans, we always have a discussion about number 6. I still like us to sign a number 6, but I kind of get it in terms of McAllister. I feel like there was a lot of noise from us fans in terms of, oh, he's not good enough to be a 6. Whenever I've seen him play in that number 6 role, I always feel like he's done a decent job. There's just been some games where he hasn't lived up to it, but it's always certain factors where maybe he hasn't played a run of games or he's just come back from injury. But whenever he's had a good game, I can just see why Klopp plays him in that number 6 role. And maybe that number 6 role has evolved for the Liverpool team rather than outsiders, where maybe we don't need a specialist like a Fabinho that we've had over the years. Because with that sort of player, you're kind of limited in terms of playmaking ability from a deeper end. With McAllister, you've got a player who works hard, is energetic, tenacious, aggressive in his play when it comes to pressing or even just trying to get challenges here and there. In terms of tackling, he was fantastic as well. Made some good challenges in the middle of the park. So yeah, I can't speak lyrical of McAllister today. I thought he was fantastic. So I'm going to give him a 9.5. I thought he was that good today. Now, in terms of Curtis Jones, for me, like I mentioned, Jones and Elliott didn't really have the best of first halves, if I'm being brutally honest. But I think Jones showed glimpses towards the end of that first half, but second half, he certainly picked it up. Was attacking more towards that left-hand side. So confused Max Aarons in terms of that role because he was marking two players at one time. So that definitely added in terms of creating space in that middle of the park, in the final third, I should say. So no, I think he definitely improved. He was better on the ball, held off a lot of challenges. From an attacking point of view, he had one shot where he ballooned in the air, but we'll forgive him for that one from the corner. But no, I think overall he had a very, very solid game in the end. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Elliott, for me, showed good passing range. He's very good on the ball. I'm very impressed in terms of how he plays the game. Quick touch and move, good passing ability, but I just don't feel like he had as much of an impact as we've seen in previous games. But I still feel like he had a good game today, obviously taking off the hour mark. But hey, it might just be in precaution to try and save up some of that energy so he can use it against Fulham that we have midweek in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. So for me, had a good game. Not his best game, to be fair, but I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10, which is not a bad rating at all. Now, in terms of the front three, let's start with Diaz. So Diaz started on the right-hand side. I actually feel like in terms of our front three in the first half, Diaz was the one that stood out for me where he's trying to make runs. He was a bit more positive in his output. But then second half, this is just my criticism of Diaz. He kind of fizzles out in games, and I don't know what it is. Maybe he's eating too much food at halftime. I don't know. He just doesn't seem to have that same energy coming into second half. He switched over to his preferred side, but I don't think he was influential at all. Probably looked better on the right-hand side, which is weird to say because that's not really his normal position. But I think second half didn't do much, to be fair. But overall, I was quite impressed with how he played in the first half. Probably the more of the attacking threat from the Liverpool team from in the first half alone. So I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. Just going to go through some of the comments here. So we've got Amirali. Thank you for your comment, Amirali. You said McAllister 8.5. That's fine. And then Dad said 9 for McAllister. And then Jones 8.5. So you've gone for slightly higher ranking, which is fine. And then you've gone for 8 for Elliott, which is fine as well. So quite similar in terms of how I presented the team. Jota, I'll be honest with you, first half an hour. Why have I got Elliott? Sorry, got Nunez as -1. Jota, in terms of the first half an hour, was not there. He was just MIA. Didn't have any influence in the game whatsoever. There were times where he was dropping deep, didn't really know what he was doing. He looked a bit lost. And then when he did drive with the ball, he just didn't look like himself. I think when Jota plays that traditional 9 role where you're supposed to have your back against the defenders, it doesn't suit him because I think he loses that awareness around him and he doesn't influence games or doesn't play to his skill set where he can get the ball, dribble, drive, and carry the ball and make things happen. In the second half, we placed him on the right-hand side, but he seemed to have more of a free role where he would cut in, play as like a number 10 sort of position. And with that, he can make that half turn and drive with the ball. And it suited him much more than him playing as that traditional number 9. So I think going forward with Salah being absent in the next few weeks, we've kind of had a stumbling point where we're like, who plays on that right-hand side? I said at the beginning, I wanted Elliott to get more game time. He does do a decent job at that side because that is his natural role. But then we had Diaz who made that cameo last week, and we're like, oh, maybe Diaz can do that job. And then now we've got Jota who actually had a great performance on that side as well. So It's a good headache to have, but maybe it's the best formation where we have Jota on the right hand side and Darwin Núñez as our number 9 rather than playing on the left. I'm not the big fan of Darwin Núñez playing as a left winger. I feel like he's only influential in games when he's come off the bench and then he's played on the left. When he starts games on the left-hand side, it just doesn't click, in my opinion. So maybe we've got something there. I'm not too sure. But look, it's a good headache to have. We've got attackers that can play in different roles, have different influence and different impact in certain games. So look, we just got to be grateful that everything clicked in the second half, because in the first half, I don't know, it didn't look like we were going to get, I thought we were going to get 1 or 2 goals, but I wasn't expecting us to have a flurry of goals where we end up winning 4-0. So no, in terms of Jota's performance, he was fantastic in the second half. So much better, driving with the ball. His finish is clinical. He's got that killer instinct in front of goal. People say he's the best finisher of the club. I have to agree. I think he's phenomenal in front of goal. Doesn't need to think about how he's going to finish. He's very instinctive in how he does it. So, no, a great performance from him. He got 2 goals, got himself an assist as well. So for Jota, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10 today. In terms of Darwin Núñez, I think he had a great game as well. In the first half, at the left wing, it wasn't quite working for him. He'd cut in. But as soon as he cuts in, he kind of loses a bit of imagination as to what he needs to do next, because we didn't have a lot of gaps to work with. But second half, playing up top, it's a natural game. You can play with aggression, press. That's what really impressed me, his overall team play today, where he was pressing at one end and then tracking back and helping out the defense as well. Countless amount of times, got a great engine on him. His first finish, slotted into the bottom corner, looks like an easy finish, but we've seen Darwin Núñez miss those chances so many times. Showed composure in that finish, which was great. And yeah, for me, he was very, very good today. And yeah, I was very impressed. I want to see him more up top if we are going to play Núñez rather than the left-hand side. I think we have other players that are more than capable of playing that role. So for today's performance, I'm going to give him let's give him a 9 out of 10 as well. So let me know what you guys think in terms of my ratings here. Daz has said 7.5 for Diaz, which is pretty much the same what I've just said. And you've gone for 9.5 for Jota as well, which is fair play. All quite similar in terms of our ratings there. So for me, man of the match, I know some would probably say Jota or Núñez because they scored 2 goals each. But I'm looking at the overall performance of each player, and I thought McAllister was fantastic today. So with that said, he is my man of the match, and I can also crown Van Dijk as our captain there. So let me just finish off the rating with our substitutes, who were Gakpo. So Gakpo came on for Diaz, so we can take off Diaz then, put on Gakpo, and then Gravenberch came off for Elliott. And then who else? We had Bobby Clark coming off for Jones. So let's hope these guys are on the... Let me type his full name. Bobby Clark. Hopefully they are there. Yes, they are, which is great. And the final player is Owen Beck. He came off for Conor Bradley. So Owen Beck is there as well. Fantastic. So let me just switch their roles. So Owen Beck was left side. Joel Gomez was on the right. Bobby Clark. Oh, I haven't even got Gravenberch on there. So Gravenberch. So Gravenberch played on that side. So that's fine. And then up top it was Núñez. And you had Gakpo on the left. So yes, that ended up being the lineup in the second half. Let's start off with Gakpo. Pretty much makes an instant reaction or impact, I should say. Took him a few minutes, ended up being provider for the Diogo Jota goal. Such a neat footballer. Definitely made an impact coming on, and I tried to make things happen. After that, a little bit quieter than normal, but I feel like he's definitely kept the ball moving. Did think everything neat and tidy. But yeah, that assist definitely helped springboard our lead there, and then we took it on from there onwards. So in terms of impact, definitely had an impact coming off the bench. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. In terms of Gravenberch, I feel like he had a good impact as well. Dribbled quite a few times, very slick with his passing. I remember one moment where he went past a couple of players. So yeah, definitely showed his quality today. Hopefully he can gain that fitness and confidence, and brings it into our next fixtures coming up. So in terms of his performance, I'll give him a 7.5. In terms of Bobby Clark, didn't have a lot of game time. I think he played for about 10, 15 minutes. But yeah, he was good when he came on, made a couple of dribbles on the left-hand side. So yeah, good performance, good outing for him. Hopefully he gets some game time up in the upcoming games. So I'll give him a 6 only because he only played for like 10 minutes. And same with Owen Beck as well. Didn't look out of place, neither of these guys, to be fair. Owen Beck, I think it's the first time playing for the first team. Had a decent moment as well. Bombed down that left-hand side, went past a couple of players. So definitely has a bit of energy about him. And definitely is an option for us going forward because we've got no recognized fullbacks. Good for us is that we have Conor Bradley, who can play on the right-hand side, and we've got Joe Gomez, who can pretty much play anywhere right now. So yeah, it's good to see these youngsters coming through and given opportunities to play in the first team. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 as well. Just going to go through the final comments I have, and then we'll bring on the callers as well. So we've got Dad has gone for 9.5 for Jota, and he's gone for 10 for Nunes, which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at all. But yeah, drop a comment, guys. Let me know what you think in terms of my ratings. Would you say some of them are high or too low? Love to hear from you guys and let me know what you think. Just got a comment from Julian Lopez. I have no idea what that is. Darwin Ante. Yeah, I can't speak Spanish, so unfortunately, I don't know what what that means. And then got a comment here from Jake Isn't. Thank you for your comment. Bless man, you never walk on. Bless up to yourself as well. And McAllister man of the match. Yep, that's who I placed as well. I thought he was phenomenal today. So no, great performance from our World Cup winner there. So that's my player ratings, and I'm going to bring on our first caller, which is Anford Uncle Ross. So let me remove this.
Uncle yes, Ross, man.
How are you doing, sir?
Let me get the old hat on. You don't want to see my
balls? Go for it. Nah, not a problem at all. How you doing?
I am very well. I can't complain. Listen, what a game today.
What a game. What a game.
You know what it is today, right? I actually think we didn't do too bad in the first half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I explained the reason why we all knew we was going to be rusty, you know, after having that week's break, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Went sort of like, and when some went on holiday and stuff, do you know what I mean? And like, don't get wrong, going to another country on holiday was well done for the Liverpool squad because we had a load of games that we took care of. I mean, come through and well. So I thought a little welcome break was good. Do you know what I mean? So I was always at the kind of like idea of thinking that we was going to be rusty. You know what I mean? A bit rusty and stuff. But the most important thing that never happened is that we never conceded. We never conceded any goals in the first half. You know what I mean? I said towards the end of the half, I goes, what I want Liverpool to do is what they've done in the second half. I want them to pick it up because what it is at the end of the day, the longer you have it that you don't score, is the more confidence that you're going to give to the other teams. Do you understand what I'm getting at? And they're going to just sort of like, feel that we can nick something here. You know what I mean? And stuff. But I actually didn't think they didn't play too bad in the first half. Do you know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
However, in the second half, they literally sort of like knocked you up a couple of notches. Do you know what I mean? They came out and it was like fast passing. Do you know what I mean? Getting about sort of like the Bournemouth players, and I thought the front threes movement in the second half was amazing. It was just really amazing. Just like Jota popping up here, Darwin popping up there, Diaz popping up there. Just like really popping up with spaces and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You almost felt at the end of the day that there was going to be a goal coming. Do you know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
And a little bit, that was a good move. One touch football back in the day. But
Yeah.
I was just quality, bang, 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 get in there. It was just like it really quality. You know what that remind me of? I'm not being funny, yeah. They remind me of Arsenal in the early 2000s and stuff. You know what I mean? The way they used to play, it was like one touch football. It was like
Yeah.
that guy had touched, that guy touched. Next minute, it was up by the striker. Then the next touch, it was in the back of the net. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True.
But like, as I said, we got that goal, and from there we kind of kicked on. Do you know what I mean? Kicked on. Diego's goal after that was a brilliant goal. Do you know what I mean? Nunes' goal as well, and Diego scored another one, and Nunes scored another one. The goals were just awesome, and I think it's really important today that we keep pressure at the top. Now, listen, today, I know what you said about winning the league in the day, right? I'm kind of like on that sort of train.
Yeah, yeah.
On that train, you know what I mean? I'm in that compartment, and they were incognito, you know what I mean? Yeah, but like hiding for the ticket man and that, we're joking. No, but you know what I mean? I've got a lot of hope that we can do something special this season, and if we keep on playing like that, we can. Remember that day, you know, we've got like influential players that are out of the squad, and a lot of people in that team today, which I sort of like, I have to sort of like, you know, commend it today. They've literally stand up to be counted. Do you know what I mean? Darwin Nunes has done it. Luis Diaz done, and look at before we talked about Darwin Nunes that he can do more and stuff, and he's stepping up. Yeah, Luis Diaz the same. We've been talking about how he needs to add more to his game. That he stepped up. First off, as I said, you know, a bit rusty in the day, right? Yeah. But in the second half, he coming to his own. Do you know what I mean? McAllister coming to his own as well. He's like kind of like learning how to play that 6 role, and he's doing very well. Listen, I'm not against you in saying that today. That sort of like he could be one of the man of the matches. You know what I mean? You know, because he played very well. Do you know what I mean? Although he gave somebody else, but he was in contention. Do you know what I mean? You know, and like young Conor Randall that day had another amazing game again. You know what made me laugh at the day, right? Like later on, they had 2 other kids at the day to come in and the day to slot in there. They just put Owen Beck at the day as left back. Right, and obviously moved Gomez out on the right. You know what I mean? And then he gets the assist later on for Darwin Nunes. So right to his foot, you know, right at his feet. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That was quality. But like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, the way he shuffled that team around and the way he shuffled the team around period and in other games and brought these kids in, and these kids and have done awesome. I've got nothing but respect for these kids. Just awesome. So Bobby Clark as well. He had another good game. You know, when he come on, he did have a good game. Do you know what I mean? So listen, the future's bright and everything. And I thought today, I didn't expect us to win 4-0.
Me neither.
I had 3-1.
Okay.
My prediction was 3-1 and everything. That, do you know what I mean? But like, listen, I did a watch along, so you can only imagine how happy it was. You know what I mean? And I think if we can get sort of like points, not if, we should get points off Chelsea when they come to Anfield.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, we should get points off Arsenal to them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Right. All of a sudden, you're looking at a different Liverpool, isn't it? And all this in the day, and he's changed his spine of his team. And look what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? People want to tell me at the day that sort of like Pep Guardiola is miles better than Klopp. Come on now, man.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
I agree with you. I think you have to also consider as well the amount of injuries that we have, the amount of players. I'm not just making excuses as well. Like, throw any problem at us, we're dealing with it. So fans would always say that, oh, Liverpool's a one-man team, you know, without Salah, you guys can't do anything. We're playing some good football without Salah in the team. Do you understand? We've pretty much played most of our season without Robertson, who's unrecognized left back. We've had Tsimikas, he's off injured, so we don't even have a recognized left back. And we've got Joe Gomez, who's been phenomenal in terms of just slotting in whenever required. And that's what you need from your team as well. You need players like that who can just come in, do a job. They're not worried about reputation or, you know, if I'm going to start week in, week out. You know your importance. When you play, you know, because we need you in this team. So that's the beauty of Klopp as a manager, where he brings everyone together. Even if you're a squad player, he makes you feel so valued that you'll do anything whenever called upon. So that is the beauty of our manager in terms of how he presents himself into the team. And you mentioned the youngsters. I have the most respect for them because they've come out from loan deals, and they've come back to the team, and they've slotted in perfectly. Owen Beck came off, and he made that run on the left-hand side, went past 2-3 players. You know, you think he's played there for like a number of years. Like so much confidence as well. Bobby Clark as well.
Yeah.
Pushing up 1 or 2 players, bombing down the Central Park. He was doing so much as well.
They're used there. I don't like. Did you see what he did to Rice? Bobby Clark did to Rice.
Yeah.
Man, balled him up, you know. Yeah.
Right. I know. So this is what I love about these youngsters. They're confident. They're not sort of like thinking, oh, I'm playing for Liverpool. Like, but this comes from the manager.
Yeah.
The club gives them confidence. Say, look, go and do your thing. Doesn't matter what happens in terms of how you perform. It's on me. If you have a terrible game, I'll deal with it. I'll let the media know whatever I need to say. But he'll never blame the youngsters in terms of even if they make a big mistake, he'll never put any blame on them because they're young. They're going to make mistakes. But thankfully for us, even Kwanzaa as well, this season, he's been fantastic. So that's why you're not hearing anyone saying, oh, we need a centre back right now, because we've got someone that's doing the job right now. So, and the beauty of today's performance for me was, I don't think we went past second gear. I think there's more to come in this team.
I know it.
And this is not even our first choice in terms of like, not everyone's the first choice player in this team. We've had to manage it in terms of like who's available, who's fit. We don't have Trent. We don't have Robertson. As Daz mentioned, we've got these guys coming back next week. But in this game, we didn't have any of them. And we still look like, you know, we can do damage. You know, from our midfielders of back in the day, a lot of our players were more sort of like engine players where compact midfield, like our Wijnaldums and our Hendos and Fabinho. Any of our midfielders right now, they're technical players, which we've probably missed over the years because we've had to play a certain way. But now we can do the dirty work. McAllister showed that today, and that's the pure evidence there. He can do the dirty work, but in terms of how he is technically on the ball, some of his passing today was just out of this world. In my
it was nice today. It was nice today. It was wow.
He was.
Wow. He had some finesse in there, man.
I know. He was so good. Just going to go through some of the comments here. So Jay Kisnet says, Diaz looks better on the right. What do you make of Diaz? Because I just found it weird that he looked better on the right today than he did on the left. But I still feel like left is his position. But I'm glad that he's an option for that right-hand side because we've always just felt like, oh, if he's a left winger, let him just be a left winger. But I've seen him do it for Colombia as well, where he's actually played on the right-hand side at times as well. So, and for Porto, actually. So I think it's a good headache, right? That we can kind of shift players around when required, isn't it?
I think to me at the end of the day, going forward, I want to see him more on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Even when Salah comes back. You know what I mean? So that means Salah doesn't have to get burnt out. Do you know what I mean? You know, and like, you know, because remember the day, you know, like he's coming, as you said, he's coming back to England because of the hamstring. But, you know, obviously maintaining his fitness and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And like there was, you know, depending on how Egypt progresses in the day, right, they will send him back, So let's say that scenario does happen in the day, and then he goes back to Egypt and they get kind of far in the cup. You know what I mean? May not ever get far in the cup. When he comes back to sort of like England after the tournament, he's going to not really be able to play a lot of games anyway.
Yeah.
Because of
the fact to manage it carefully.
Like, fatigue and all that. So I want to see that option at the day for the right-hand side of midfield anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because on the left-hand side, you got like Jota, if anything. Or you can even put like Cody Gapper out on there.
They can all do a job. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, you've got so much options on the left anyway. And I think, and I'm not being funny, I think he plays a better game on the right-hand side. Because naturally on his stronger foot. Do you know what I mean?
Stronger foot,
that goal at the end of the day, so like he scored against Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
He just sized it up and everything that right and packed it top bin,
That was a no-look shot as well. He didn't even look at the ball. He looked that way in his shot.
He just like knew he had to shoot and his shot, bang. And next week it was in the back of the even I was surprised. I was like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but like
Yeah.
more, he looks more comfortable on the right hand
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Looks really cool. Because remember at the day, even if you go back to the Arsenal game again, right? When he was on the right hand side, you had him on the right, you had Jota through the middle, which was dropping deep and all that, right?
Yeah.
Then you had Nunes on the left. Listen, that was causing Arsenal problems, lad.
Yeah.
It was
It was.
causing problems. They didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Literally did not know what to do. So, like, you know, I want to see like Salah on the. I'm not Salah. I want to see Diaz on the right a lot more. So it's at the end of the day, so he can deputize for Salah sometimes. Salah doesn't have to play a lot of games. You know what I mean? You say Salah, sit this one. You sit on the bench for this game, right? And Diaz say, well, we may bring you on later if we need you. Do you know what I mean? So then when you start Diaz, and then if you start Diaz and I'm not Diaz, Salah next game, he's fresh. He's really fresh. Do you know what I mean? So it's a good option. Good option.
I think it gives Klopp confidence as well to actually rotate a little bit more, because we probably just had it programmed in our head that, oh, Salah is the only one that can play right wing. No one else can do a decent job. But in the last few weeks, Diaz, like you mentioned, the game against Arsenal was fantastic. Jota today played on the right-hand side in the second half. I thought he was fantastic because he was so unpredictable, where he'll start from the right, but he'll come in deep as well. And like a lot of them can, that's the thing, they can all interchange. So now I feel like we've unlocked a new level in our attack, because now can you think about it? Because any one of these guys can play in any of those front three rows, and still do a good job. Whether you play on the left, right, or center, because the right was always that position that, oh, we need a specialist. Only Salah can do that. Now everyone can do that role. So for me, that is something that is going to actually worry our rivals now, because they're like, oh, without Salah, you guys can't do anything. Diaz did a job. Jota did a job. Gakpo's done a job in the past as well. Put Nunes there, he might do a job. Do you know what I mean? So we've got options to do. we got options to do whatever we want. So look, it's positive. That's what's giving me more belief there. Attacking wise, we can handle it without Salah. We're not depending on him. Obviously, his output into the goals and assists is phenomenal, but we don't rely on him. Does that make sense? Like I actually don't think he's actually performed to his highest ability. I just feel like his numbers are high, but in terms of performances, he was probably better 2-3 years ago, but he's still getting the numbers for us, isn't he? So I'm just so impressed with how we're attacking as a team, but our midfielders and how we're influencing games. So it's very, very encouraging to see. There's a comment here which we can actually talk about. Nothing will be done about Kluivert's tackle. Jones got 3 games. So that for me, even like that challenge was a dirty challenge. I would say I think we're probably old school. Like in terms of how it was back in the day, that's a yellow card. But nowadays, you're getting red cards for those challenges.
Yeah, that's red cards. He literally studied him. Him.
And then nothing came. The VAR didn't review it. The referee didn't even give a foul. There's no free kick. Play was continued.
Do you know what they said?
What did they say?
Got across to you. They said something like, it was reckless, but not malicious. That's why he never got a card.
That's not
that doesn't make sense.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense to me, because reckless is dangerous. Am I lying?
It is dangerous.
Reckless is malicious. Am I not lying?
No, it's true.
Do you know what I mean? So, you see what it is. This is what it is, right? Real talk now, right? Is they will find any excuse that they can at the day not to give Liverpool anything. You know what I mean?
It's true.
This is what I keep telling people in the day, right? When people start saying Liverpool and everything like that, right? I go, no.
Nonsense.
No way for that. And they would just they would try everything in the day to sort of say, well, you know what? Give me 2 seconds. I'll come back. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. No worries. But yeah, I'll just elaborate on that point as well in terms of Kluivert, because, and I'm not saying there's a witch hunt against Liverpool, but it's not a coincidence that we're getting these decisions against us where, as Jay Kisner mentioned, Jones got a 3-game suspension because of a similar tackle that he did in the past as well. Like, we've had so many red cards where they weren't really red cards. So it's just ridiculous in terms of the officiating right now. The concern for me is that VAR aren't even reviewing these incidents where they've just I don't know, just missed it completely, or they've just said, "Oh, it's not gonna." Like Uncle Rosa just mentioned that it was labeled as reckless, not malicious. That's just BS right there. Reckless means you're out of control. So if you're going into a player out of control, you're there to endanger the opponent. So that's even worse. Malicious, that there's pure intent. So with malicious, you can't really do anything about it, right? Which is fair enough. But if it's reckless, that doesn't mean that's, that's not warrant of you not getting a red card. You fully right deserve a red card. Depends on how you've made that challenge. If you've gone into a player from behind or from the side and you've used your studs on his ankle and you didn't get the ball, nothing came out of it, that incident should be reviewed. So for me, I don't know, this whole VAR nonsense, for me, I'm VAR out, but it's not because I'm saying we're not getting our decision. It's because the officiating is just at a very low standard right now that you don't even trust anyone using VAR. That's the thing. The technology is there. It's fantastic, but the people that are using it are incompetent. So what's going to change that a different person uses it now? I don't think there's going to be much changes to VAR being used right now. So, but hey, look, thankfully it didn't injure the player, which we got to look at the positive now, because I wouldn't go on a rant just for the sake of it. The positive that the player wasn't injured, he was able to continue to play on. Clara was definitely lucky. I think he should have been yellow. Like, I'm probably a bit more old school. A yellow card should have been the minimal outcome to that incident. But hey, red cards have been given for those challenges. So why are we getting missed by these opportunities? Why are other teams getting away with it? That's the frustrating thing, especially when we're talking from a Liverpool point of view. So no, very, very disappointing to see that. But nothing, like Jay Kisner said, nothing's really going to come out of it. They're not going to review it afterwards. And I'll be honest with you, once this incident happened and when the game's gone by, I don't even want to hear what officials have to say afterwards, because you had Simon Webb saying it afterwards, I think last week on Sky Sports, where he was like, the Odegaard handball should have been handball. I don't care now. Like, we all know it should have been a handball. So it just does my nothing when these officials come out afterwards. Like, what's it going to do for us now? It's far gone in terms of what the outcome should have been. So Jay Kisner said that it's a straight red. I agree with you. I think I'm speaking more in terms of like how we've grown up to watch football, where I feel like back in the day that's probably a yellow. But in this day and age, you're 100% right, Jake, isn't it? It is a red card, because
that's a red card all day long.
All day long. Yeah.
Because what it is, you really look. Sorry to cut across here. When you look back, look back at Curtis Jones for Spurs. Look back at that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very similar, but like this one was worse.
Worse.
You know 100%. Lisa and Day sort of like, all right, the guy's foot like that. Yeah. What happened in Day today? It's gone like that.
Yeah, you know I mean? And it's come from behind as well.
Yeah, from behind and I think that, right?
Yeah.
With Curtis Jones, it went on the actual boot. You know what I mean? Went on the boot, not the actual sort of leg. And that can break your leg, you know. Them
100%.
Can break your leg.
100%.
To tell me with a straight face, yeah. Well, the reason why he never got carded, yeah. Did you actually see his face at the day after the guy's Climate's face after it? He's like when they, obviously when they played on, he was he's like
relieved. He was
got away one.
Yeah,
he literally knew he got away one, right? For these referees actually to say the reason why he never got chastised or any card or nothing like that is because it was reckless, not malicious. What on earth are you talking about?
That's
nonsense. Seriously, what on earth are you talking about? Do you think we're idiots?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just say it and day. Well, the reason why at the end of the day he never got a card or nothing like that because we don't like Liverpool.
Yeah, it's perfect.
You might as well just say that. You might as well just say that. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, to me at the end of the day, I can't fathom why that wasn't looked at. Do you know what I mean? That wasn't made no mistake. It made no sense at all. Because you can see at the end of the day, he's not gone for the ball. He's gone for the player.
Yeah.
And with the injuries that we got in the moment, and we cannot afford another injury. Seriously.
No, it's so true. For them to say it was reckless rather than malicious. Reckless, as I mentioned to the callers, to the viewers earlier on, reckless is that you're not in control. You're still endangering the opponent.
Yeah.
So is that not just as bad as being malicious? Malicious means yes, you're intentionally trying to get the guy. But if you're being dangerous, like think of you driving a car. If you're reckless, you're not a good driver, are you? You're going to cause some sort of chaos on the road, aren't you? It's the same on a football pitch. If you're not in control and you're trying to get the ball off someone, but you've actually smashed into someone's ankle, like you said, could have broken their leg, that's a red card. You can't play football in that manner. You've got to be in control. You can't, yes, be aggressive, be a certain type of player on the pitch. But if you're going there trying to break people's legs accidentally or whatnot, the leg is broken end of the day. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's for me, that's a prophetic reasoning.
Someone needs to ask that referee, give him a scenario and say, look, right then, a guy knocks your wife over. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But scenario, a guy knocks your wife over.
Yeah.
And the police comes to you, and say, oh, the reason why we never charged him because it was reckless, not dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's like that, isn't it? Isn't it like that?
Yeah, it's stupid. This
exactly
is it. Yeah.
Like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not going to charge him because it's reckless, not dangerous.
Yeah.
You're gonna
look at the outcome. Don't see it instead of what the manner was. Look at the outcome. What happened?
Exactly.
That's what needs to be looked at. Exactly. If the guy's got a broken leg afterwards, and like, oh, it wasn't, he didn't do it by purpose. It doesn't matter. The guy's got a broken leg now. Do you know what I mean? What are you gonna tell him now? He can't walk. Do you know what I mean?
He probably won't be able to play again. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna tell his family that you can't?
Do you know what I mean?
Oh mate,
I don't know. You can't make this stuff up. I'll tell you. It's just it's just pure stupidity now. Like they're running out of excuses from their book now. That's how it is. That's how it is now. They're running out of excuses. So yeah, I don't know.
Listen, you know what? I never thought of it that way. They run out of excuses, and
they are. What's gonna be next? They're gonna blame the weather. They're gonna blame the cut of the grass. Like, what are they gonna do next? So it's ridiculous.
The grass was wet. That's why he slid into the guy.
Or the ref forgot to wear contact lenses or something. They're gonna come up with all kinds of excuses now. So absolutely pathetic. Daz has just said that he's just watched on Match of the Day, and one of our ex-players said could have been red, Ozzie, Danny Murphy. So yeah, it's obvious. You don't really need Danny Murphy to verify it for us, but it's obvious in terms of what we saw today. So yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Just got a comment here from Jay Kisner. It says, playing youth coming through also sends shivers down other club spines. It's important that we keep producing Trent level youth players.
Yes.
Look, did you see the 7-1 against Arsenal, our youth players yesterday?
I saw that. I saw at the end of the day the highlights. I saw the highlights.
Yeah, that's what I watched as well.
They ripped a new one.
Yeah.
Right. And we have got some. Wasn't it under 18s level? Was it under 18s or under 23s?
I think it was under 18s.
I know we have got some dangerous guys coming through. It is frightening, man. I'm telling you, it's frightening. Do you know what I mean? And the only bad thing about it is that quite a few of them won't actually play for Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're an asset to any other team.
It's promising for us because you never know.
You know what's going to happen soon, yeah? I can see what's happening next year or two, right? These teams across Europe and that will be coming to sort of like Liverpool and raiding our academy. Do you know what I mean? And then we can determine the prices of what we're selling them for. So you're going to get a player at the end of the day, right, that probably hasn't played at the day for sort of like, the first team, and we could probably shot him for about 40 million. Do you know what I mean? Such is the caliber of the players that we've got. And what I saw, what they've done to Arsenal yesterday, there was literally just running at them. It was just running at them, and they couldn't stop them.
Yeah. And there was the type of goals that they were scoring as well. It's like even a free kick. I think the guy's name's Dan's as well. Like, what a free kick that was. Whew.
That was nice,
He's a striker, number 9. He's a striker.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I'm telling you.
We've got some talent there.
Wouldn't I be right in saying that like, under 18s, under 23s, don't they train with the first team?
They're all at Access Centre right now. Yeah, so they're all in the same area. So before in Melwood, we would all be segregated, isn't it? But with our new training facility, they all train in the same place. So that's probably why they're playing with such confidence, because they get to see the first team players in action. They get to probably mingle with them in some sessions at some stage of the week as well. So look, it's only positive. Now, whether these guys make it or not, I think it doesn't always come down to like it comes down to, I think, mentality of these young players as well. The talent, obviously, if they've got the talent, fantastic, but it comes down to mentality and the desire of how they want to proceed in the future as well. Because I always feel like in terms of talent, it's 40%, but mentality is 60%. I feel like that's the difference between becoming a top player or just being a player at a slightly lower level, like a championship level or whatnot. So, look, the future's bright. When you've got players coming through like that, and look, Arsenal at any stage, because, you know, their academy is known to produce some great players, especially coming from the London area. So, you know, 7-1, it's no shabby result whatsoever. So yeah,
no, it's not, man. I think what's going to happen in the days is like these under 18 squad players, and I would say quite a lot of them as under 18 players next season going to graduate to the under 23s.
Yeah,
going to graduate to under 23s. So that means more opportunity for them, because what's going to happen at the day is like, you know, as you know what Klopp does in, like, you know, in League Cup and everything. He feels a lot. He feels from under 23 players. So what will happen at the end of the day, right? These players at the end of the day will get a chance of first team football, and also as well, he puts a lot of them sort of like kids in the under 23s that they out on loan, like to Aberdeen and, you know, like Scotland and League One and so forth. You know what I mean? He puts a lot of them out and everything like that. So that's another avenue in day in either A, you know, getting first team football, and B, and they putting yourself in a shop window for potential buyers. Do you understand what I'm saying? You may have a team and a day that's probably I don't know, struggling in the championship, you know, with that. You know, they might say, you know, we'll take this guy. Do you know what I mean? You might have a team in a day sort of like just freshly into sort of like the Premiership. Do you know what I mean? You know, come from in the Premiership, right? So when it comes January and they're looking at sort of like youth team players that they can get. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? That can sort of like, that's got the hunger, passion, and desire. Do you know what I mean? To get them to the next level. So the future is bright. The future is bright, and I'm loving every minute of it, because this is a manager at a club at the day that everybody thought will tell you, not for everybody will tell you, and they're not going nowhere. Klopp ain't got a clue. Well, look what's happening now, mate.
I don't know what to say about those people, because you can never doubt Jurgen Klopp. That's just my opinion in terms of as a manager. So if people doubted him, hopefully you're big enough to, you know, admit that you were wrong, and then you're actually saying on camera or telling your fellow Liverpool fans that, you know, you were wrong. But yeah, in terms of Jurgen Klopp, I don't know, he's doing something special in my opinion. Like, even just looking at the youth players as well, like, even if you're one of those young players right now, let's say you have the talent to actually break into the team. If you look at, let's say the rival clubs are trying to, you know, take some of our players, there's no reason why they wouldn't stick around at Liverpool, because if you look at all the other big boys, we're the team that actually plays these youngsters. You don't see Man City. Man City have had to do it because they've had to let a few players go. So like you've seen Oscar Bob coming through, but he looks like a special talent himself. Chelsea, they don't really do it. They just want to buy players like it's FIFA career mode. So they just do what they want in terms of how they want to do business. Arsenal have done it in the past, but haven't done it recently. So just look at all the big teams. We're actually playing our youngsters. We've got the likes of Kwanzaa. That's pretty much, you know, first team footballer now. He was at Bristol Rovers last year, League One, playing Premier League football, playing in the Carabao Cup, playing in the Europa League. You've got Conor Bradley, who's played a few games so far, has looked fantastic. Bolton's Player of the Year last year. You've got Owen Beck playing today. You had Bobby Clark playing today. Bajcic broke through the team last season as well. So
Tyler Morton as well. He's doing very well.
Exactly. So this is a place where if you're good enough, you will be playing. It doesn't matter about your age. Klopp doesn't care about how old you are. If you're good enough, you're good enough to actually play for his team. So for me, that's a very, very positive thing going forward. Just gonna go through some of the comments. So Jake Hinton said, for me, straight card, red card. Can't argue there whatsoever. You've also said Lasol said there's no consistency in VAR. That's what's the problem.
Yeah,
that's true as well. There is no consistency, but it's also I just feel like they don't know how to use it. It's just I feel like they're so incompetent that the way they review the game, you can tell they've never played a game of football. And I'm saying I'm not even talking like professional, semi-pro. They probably haven't kicked the ball in the park. Like that's the kind of level I'm talking, where they have no understanding of the game. They just looked at the rules book and then that's what they're going off by.
yeah.
So that's what's frustrating for me because, and a lot of people are like, oh, why don't we get ex-players involved? I don't know about that because if I was an ex-player, I wouldn't want to be part of VAR or PGML as well because that's not really where you're from, right? So you grew up playing professional football, not to be an official. So things need to change. Things where more training should be done for using VAR as a tool for these decisions and taking your time. I wouldn't say take your time in the decision, but just I don't know if you need more people involved. Do what you got to do. If you've got to get foreign referees who have a better reputation and bring them to the Premier League, because we're doing it on the pitch, we're getting players from all over the world. If you got to do it from an official point of view, it's something to consider as well. So I don't know. I don't feel like VAR is like. I think even in Europe there is some decisions in the Champions League that I've seen that have been a bit iffy as well at the same time. So they haven't found a balance in terms of how to use it right. And I also feel like referees that are actually on the pitch, they become a bit complacent as well because they're like, if I get it wrong, VAR is going to sort it out for me. And they're relying on VAR to make that decision. But VAR might not actually make that right call at the same time due to whatever their thinking is. So it's not a quick fix, unfortunately, this whole technology into football. But, there's a long road ahead, so we'll see how it goes. Jake Kisner says 7-1. And second court fans wanted Wilshere sacked after that. So is he the coach? I don't even know he was the coach, Wilshere.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
They want him sacked after that. So poor guy.
He got sacked.
No, they want him sacked. The fans want him sacked after that. Can you imagine if he got sacked? That'd be hilarious.
It's not that deep, It's not that deep.
No, it's not that deep at all. Obviously, it's like bragging rights amongst us fans, but after a few days, it kind of fizzles out. But no, look. Fantastic game today. Obviously, we're in cloud nine right now. Let's think a little bit ahead. Wednesday, big game coming up. Fulham, semi-final, second leg. How are you feeling about that game?
Oh, I'm feeling largely confident. I'm very confident. What we need to do is just go there and actually just finish the game. Just finish the tie. Do you know what I mean? But don't take no unnecessary chances. Do you know what I mean? Just play the game like you can. Because at the end of the day, you've got the ability and the day to beat Fulham. Do you know what I mean? And book yourself into the final. So go out there and show us what you can do. We know what you can do, but show us what you can do and stuff. And there's the chances. And people. I'm looking for like a fast start. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But most important thing will be in the day is not to concede again. Do you know what I mean? Just sort of like stay focused at all times. Do you know what I mean? Literally play like you did today. I think we like today we defended well. So I'm looking for
very well
another defensive performance like that on Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? Because by Wednesday we should know in the day who we have in the final. Do you know what I mean? I think something tells me today it's going to be Middlesbrough.
I think so as well. I have that feeling as well.
I've got that feeling. I think because people are sort of like saying that people are thinking it's a given at the day that sort of like Chelsea beat Middlesbrough at the Bridge, but it might not happen.
No,
it might not happen. You know what I mean? Because what it is in Middlesbrough, we've got nothing to prove. All they have to do is to go there and just sit in, man. Just sit in and then think that right. You know what I mean? Don't give Chelsea any spaces. You know what I mean? And just sit in. And if you can catch Chelsea sort of like on a counter attack, well then do that. Do you know what I mean? But like just sit in. But like I'm really confident for Wednesday. Really confident. I mean, I haven't felt so much confidence. I haven't felt this for a good while, and it's just so good to feel this confidence at the end of the day, that to know at the end of the day, like every game that we go in. I'm not saying that every game we go in we can win, but there's a very good chance that we can win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, and I'm just largely confident for Wednesday's game. Largely.
That's a good thing. I think each game that's coming up right now, it's got importance to it, where you know it's going to make a difference to our season. So I feel like we're, as fans, we're thriving that, because it's like, I think a couple of years ago we were in that position where we were, you know, going for the quad because we were in all competitions. But we've got that similar vibe where everything we're doing, it's like whatever you're throwing at us, we're getting past everyone and we're getting the win, we're getting the points. So for me, it's a positive look in terms of how we're playing as a team. In terms of the team lineup, would you play a strong team, or would you do a sort of a mixed match type of team against Fulham on Wednesday?
I will start off with a strong team, but obviously have some people on the bench and they can throw on when you're sort of like, you know, you get like 1 or 2 goals up. You know what I mean? Just to sort of like, you know, see out the game and such. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like today and everything that we like 3-0 up. I think 3-0 up at the time, and then we brought on like
2 youngsters at the end, isn't it? Yeah.
And Bobby Clark and that. Do you know what I mean? You know, so always have that sort of like players on the bench, and then you can say, right, you know, go on, I'll give this guy, that guy a run out. Do you know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
But I will start in the day sort of like literally, I will start strong, very strong in the day, right? Okay. And to stand some authority in the game. Do you know what I mean? Stand some authority in the game, and hopefully get like that goal, or because if we get a goal, and if it doesn't, that put us 3-1 up, or something like 3-1 up.
3-1 up, yeah. Because 1-2-1, yeah.
Because it's 3-1 up. Do you know what I mean? So it's more of a mountain for them to climb. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, start as strong as possible. I would.
Definitely. Just got a couple of comments before we wrap up. So Jake Isn't says Wednesday, Fulham need a goal, let them attack, and we counter attack them. Go full strength with Alisson in goal, and then rest a few for Norwich Sunday. Yeah, I agree. I think we should go as strong as we can. We can just get that 1 or 2 goal in the first half and then just rotate towards the second half. We don't need to play the full 90 minutes with our players. Just get the job done in the first half, and then we can definitely finish that tie and then get the win at the end. So no, definitely, I think that's every fan, or most fans' viewpoint in terms of how we should set up against Fulham. And the final comment here: it was a great performance and a great win today. 1 game at a time. Next up, Fulham, let's finish it off and book our spot in the final. You'll never walk alone. That's a nice comment to end the show there from Amirali. Thank you for your comment there. And Uncle Roz, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate your time and your input as well. Always nice to chop out with you. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be
you know I've always got time for you. You know I've always got time for you, my brother. Come on.
Appreciate it. But we've got a lot of games coming up. So we'll be talking about hopefully trophies coming up next month and stuff like that. So a lot of big things happening for us as a team, and we'll be doing a lot more content together as always. So, Uncle Roz, thank you as always. Let the people know where to follow you as well. You have to give a little plug as well at the same time.
Yeah, man. Big up Ozzie, man. Big up Ozzie. And listen, your channel's going on good, man. Your channel's going on good still. And as I said, I always do this. I always thank the people that let me on the show. So thank you immensely for letting me come on your show. And you say it's a pleasure to chop up with me. Listen, it's double amount of pleasure to chop up with you, my friend. Do you know what I mean? So it's all good. Listen, guys. Listen, before I actually shout out my channel, please come over to football. Football podcast. Talk podcast channel. Come up to his channel. Like and subscribe. Show the support because he does some brilliant content. Okay, so make sure you like and subscribe to Ozzie's channel, man. Trust me, you know what I mean? He's doing very well, and he's putting us some good content. Listen, guys, you can find me on Anfield Uncle Roz on YouTube, okay? I had a stream on today, did a watch along show today. I'm doing 2 shows tomorrow. I'm doing I'm doing 3 shows actually. Wow. I'm doing one which is a match reaction. Then later on, I've got the football vibe show. And then after that, I'll be on Fuzzy's channel. Yeah, I'm chopping it over there still. So obviously, mate, if you're free and everything like that, and you know what I mean, not doing anything, come over, man. Come over. I'll get him to send you the link. Come over and chop it up, man. You know what I mean? But I'll be doing tomorrow. Tuesday, I'm debating whether to do the panel debate show or do a watch along for the Chelsea Middlesbrough game.
Okay.
I'm debating that you're debating, but then obviously after that watch along show with the Liverpool game Thursday at the day, it's the match reaction, and then football reasoning show, and then we go again for the weekend. FA Cup weekend. So yes, a lot of great stuff coming up. Obviously with these great guys as well, because I know Ozzie going to make an appearance on one of those shows. You know what I mean, but some great stuff coming up. So listen, like and subscribe, to Anfield Uncle Rods. Do you know what I mean? On YouTube, and also on Ozzie channel. Like and subscribe to his channel as well, man. Don't forget that. That's the utmost thing you got to do.
Definitely, most definitely. No, Uncle Roz, trust me, is doing a lot of content. One of the hardest working, I think, YouTubers that I know, to be fair. So no, thank you, Uncle Roz, as always, for your time. Thank you for your support as well. And yeah, like we said earlier on, we'll be chopping it up very, very soon. So yeah, speak to you soon. And enjoy the rest of your evening as well.
Yeah, man. Love to you and your family, bro. Love to you.
Bro. You too. You too, bro. Thank you. Take care. So yeah, so that's Uncle Roz. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to his channel. As I mentioned, he does a lot of content, not just Liverpool content as well. I know Liverpool fans on the show right now, but he does Premier League content as well. So yeah, definitely check it out. And yeah, definitely worth a follow there. Just got a few more comments before we wrap up. So I'll pop on a future show, Ozzie, for sure. Nice flow. Thank you for your comment there. And then Amirali says, I hope Middlesbrough beats Chelsea. Me and Uncle Roz pretty much said the same thing. We just have that feeling that I think Middlesbrough might just do the job, It shouldn't be given that just because it's Chelsea and it's at Stamford Bridge that they'll get the win. There's a reason why they won that first leg. So they're more than capable of doing it again, in my opinion. So I personally would prefer Middlesbrough. I'm not saying because it's easy opposition because they're a championship team. Don't want to play Chelsea in the final again, to be fair. The last couple of times we've done that as a bit of a ball fest. So it would be nice to have a different opposition in the cup final. But hey, we've still got to do our job as well at the same time. So we can speak in more detail and more confidence, I would say, on our match reaction after the Fulham and Liverpool game. And Jay Kisden says, peace to Uncle. And then Emmanuel says, big up, guys. And as you can see, we're a tight-knit community. Everyone's saying big up to each other. That's how it should be, especially when we're doing these football discussions. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is on my channel. Everyone should, speak with respect, value each other's opinions. And yeah, look at the love between our viewers here, giving shouts to each other. And Daz, with the last comment here, says no VAR both games again. I can't lie, that was quite nice, have VAR in the last fixture. It just felt like it was kind of like that old school game where you just get on with it. If the referee doesn't say anything, just keep it moving. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. I'm getting bored of VAR. I feel like every week, it doesn't even have to be a Liverpool game, because I do a Premier League match week wrap-up show as well. And there's always an incident with VAR. So I'm just a bit sick and tired of it. So no, I think it's a good thing that there is no VAR in the upcoming games in the Carabao Cup. And Jake agrees as well. It's a good thing that there's no VAR. So yeah, I agree as well, guys. And that's our wrap up for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Big shout out to everyone in the comments. Thank you to Daz and for Uncle Rod, Amirali. You've got Julian, Jay Kisnet. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your participation as always, guys. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. In terms of upcoming content, lots coming up this week. So tomorrow, I'll be doing FC24 content. I wrapped up my career mode last week, but I might be doing something new on that game now as well. So I might have a new show, a new type of content surrounding FC24 tomorrow. To just make sure, be on the lookout for that. Not 100% confirmed, but it's in the pipeline. And then Tuesday, I'll be doing a double show. So I'll be doing a Match Week 21 review of all the games in the Premier League. And then I'll also be doing a match preview of Fulham versus Liverpool. Wednesday, we'll be doing that match reaction of that semi-final second leg tie. Hopefully we'll be in good spirits after that game. And then, yeah, Thursday we'll be doing a match preview of the FA Cup game, which is the Norwich. Is that Anfield? I think it's Anfield. Liverpool versus Norwich. So we're doing a match preview for that as well. So, yeah, make sure you hit that notification bell. and make sure you hit that reminder as well, so you know that all of the shows are coming up. Also, follow me on social media. You can follow me at OzzieFTP on Twitter /X. And you can also follow me at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok for all the latest updates. As always, guys, take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.